One thing that's interesting in dealing with, in being a music lawyer or an entertainment lawyer, is the different types of personalities. Um, in music, for example, or specifically, that's what this tape is about. This program is about. There's any number of categories of people, but there's three, for example, that are worthy of talking about. One would be the manager, one would be the artist, one would be the record label. And in negotiating a record deal, let's say, your communications are completely different with all those three individuals. Let's go from the hardest to the other hardest. Dealing with the artist is very hard because artists are typically the worst business people going. Not because they're not smart, but because that's not where they focus. Now, Mick Jagger has a master's degree from the London School of Economics, and there's a lot of wonderful urban artists. So I know Puffy's got an empire. My friend Jimmy Roseman has a great brand company, Czar Entertainment, that's got all kinds of management, and so there's a lot of sophisticated people out there. But your typical artist doesn't want to be told that he's only getting X amount of dollars, or they're not going to give you the tour, the big bus that you want, or you're not going to get to all fly first class, or so the way the communication skills and the challenges in that dialogue are vastly different. You need to recognize the sensitivity. They're artists in the true sense of the word, and they're selling art. Forget records for a second. Let's say you're a painter. You're saying, "Do you like my painting?" Well, the answer is no. What do you tell the guy? They don't like your painting. Well, that's personal. You painted the damn thing. Did you like? So it's a difficult thing because it's no different than a painting or do you like my architecture? Do you like my poem? This is my song. So it's a rejection business. I represent a lot of fashion models. And there's a lot of beautiful women out there. But you know what? If you're not the look they're looking for, they've rejected how you look. So it's very personal. if I'm a schmuck lawyer. If I get, if somebody doesn't like me, that's the worst thing. There's another guy they like, it's not my, lawyering. Maybe it's my lawyering skills. It's not my humanity, my expression so it's a very, very sensitive. But the trick is, and there's a line from one of the Godfather movies. Of course, I'm stereotypically Italian, so I have to slide that in. Where I can't remember who said it, but it's always tell bad news immediately. I think Tom Hayden said it. You always tell bad news immediately. So I've always stuck by that as a rule. And when somebody says no, I always call the artist and say, I hate to tell you, but the project's been passed on. And I feel like if you just go to to the artist straight on that, it's a much better way, because everybody's dream, because you don't know what dream leads to what verbal comment to what person and who's dynamic, and everybody gets then psychiatrists make money. Let's just go there. So it's a little bit of eggshell walking, but you have to be honest, and hopefully by the time you're in those difficult conversations, you've educated the artist enough to know where to, how to gauge his expectations. Managers are really the babysitters of the artists in the most professional sense, and I don't mean that to be a bad thing, but a good thing. They're the day-to-day people. I don't need to speak to the artist every day. No reason for me to speak to an artist every day. I don't have the time to speak to an artist every day. I have hundreds of clients. Managers have a few. When I speak to the managers, they get the real story. All right, the song is tanking at radio. They think the album cover sucks. The second single is not going to happen. We can't get so and so to clear the remix, and then this thing isn't going to. This isn't going to happen. You need to come up with something better, because otherwise this thing's going to fall through. So that's how I'll talk to the manager, because the manager's a professional. Now, usually, I can get to the manager to be the one to have the hard conversation with the artist. But at the end of the day, in a business sense, I always describe the artist. If you did a wheel and spokes, we're the hub. Managers, accountants, labels, A&Rs, publicists. At the end of the day, I'm the one that has to fire everybody else. I'm the one that has to say, all right, what'd you do on this thing?